Is that fair? Today's fourth newsletter is digging into the concept of fairness. Using negotiators' terms, legitimacy. It's the key, actually, to tearing down those walls of partisan perceptions that we've described a couple of weeks ago. It's that key that turns dead end positions and opinions into actually open ended perceptions. We've seen it many times at 5P Healthcare Solutions. Even the most positional negotiator will be forced to go down the road of thinking about their facts, numbers, and arguments, that's what we call legitimacy, to their opinion. And often, actually, they may be unable to do so. That's your chance to tear down a brick in that wall between you and them and build a bridge towards it together. Let's get us started with a story of an old vinyl record that our founder, in that case, that's me. My name is Raina Volter. I'm the CEO and founder of 5P Healthcare Solutions, issuing that newsletter that I'm actually desperate to call my own. So watch out for a contest that's coming later on. Remember those deep beats, and I'm encourage you to actually play the song of Pink Floyd's The Wall. I don't need those walls around me, they sing. We don't need no education, they sing. We don't need no thought control. And then they say, teacher, leave them kids alone, and shout out another brick in that wall. So picture this for a minute. You're in a flea market, try to purchase that unique vinyl disc. And it's such a unique piece that the seller actually puts it at $100. But you only have really $20 to spend on. In a typical bargaining fashion, what happens? You may go through a couple of rounds of negotiation trying to reach an agreement somewhere in the middle. You may eventually settle, let's say, on a compromise of $60. Is that actually a fair price for the seller who purchased it for $50? And is it a good deal for you as you really only have that $20 note in your pocket on the flea market? Is this the best deal for you both? Transferring this into a business context, what we do is provide transparent justifications on why a certain amount is fair to us. Without that additional rational information of facts and legitimacy, it's impossible to break out of the positional bargaining behavior that may actually be a zero-sum game that destroys value, makes everyone lose, and leaves no party to win. You simply can't only say, well, I know that's the best price. It's my last call. Your negotiating party may be smarter than you and ask why. They may ask, help me understand why this is a fair price to you and to me. What's the benchmark? What are the precedents? Why do you need this price to sustain your business? Tell me more. Can I help you understand actually my pressures and my scope of decision-making authority around my proposal? In your position, you'd be better prepared to answer. Unfortunately, good compromise is the enemy of creating value. Focusing on legitimacy can transform a transactional sell into a sustainable solution. It is tempting to think about collaboration as a way of reaching good compromise. What we tend to mean by this often is to meet somewhere in that middle and believe this is the best reachable agreement for both of us. In the example of the flea market story, those $60 actually are a lose-lose for the Pink Floyd seller, vinyl record seller, and the buyer just the same, both lost. That's what we mean. This is what this episode is about, legitimacy for your perspective. In other words, translated in healthcare, what is a fair deal to transfer those data? What is a fair price to that service? What is a fair value to that new IT technology and digital therapeutics, or DIGA for the German speakers? Who is empowered to decide? You can guess. It's about the value that it means to the seller and to the buyer. Only the two together can actually figure out what the best deal is for both of them for their joint project thinking into the future. Because actually, why the heck would someone pay for a Ferrari, can you imagine, if they could just as well drive a random vehicle on four wheels to drive their kids to school? A Honda might do the job just as well, and honestly at a fraction of the price, and actually more comfortable too. It's about the value it means to us that fuels our sense of fairness. Isaac Newton said, or is attributed to have said, we build too many walls and not enough bridges. So with that picture of the vinyl disc, today we want to open it up on a contest on who still has that vinyl record in their basement. We encourage you to put in a plead here and a proposal. We want to test out what the community can find out about a fair price for that legend. We certainly, and I certainly, want to buy a copy. However, not really at a Ferrari price, but let's see. Let's chat about it. It's easy. Just drop a line here in the direct messaging to this newsletter, and we promise we will get back to you. In closure, as every week, these are the 3 questions that can help you prepare using your legitimacy framework. What are the grounds and the facts supporting my arguments? Am I prepared to probe actually the legitimacy of the other party's argument? And is my conversation strategy governed by a strong sense of fairness for me, for them, for us together? Here's the summary of our first 4 newsletters so far. Building relationships based on facts and legitimacy builds trust and focuses the conversation on the purpose rather than on positions. That breaks down the walls and builds bridges to co-create novel options based on each party's interests. Stay tuned for the great final next week when we'll present the 3 last essential steps to make you a winning negotiator at that project table. We say cooperation is the new winning in healthcare. Have a great week.